What is going on, everybody? It's JetsCentral coming back with another video. In this one, I wanted to recap tonight's performance between the New York Jets at the Detroit Lions for a Week 1 primetime Monday night game. All right, all eyes were on the Jets, all eyes were on the Lions. Everybody in the world was watching. Okay, and I want to start the video off by saying this. All right, blame nobody, expect nothing, do something. Okay, that was the saying that the New York Jets organization, the players, the coaching staff, that was the saying that they were pushing throughout the whole offseason, right? Through minicamp, through training camp, through preseason. That was the saying that everybody was just preaching. And I felt as though tonight was a perfect representation of that mantra, okay? I was absolutely stunned watching this game. I thought the Jets were going to be competitive. Don't get me wrong. I thought the Jets were going to push the Lions to the limit. But what the Jets did tonight, I'm almost at a loss for words here, okay? I was stunned. Absolutely unreal. Unbelievable job at the New York Jets. All three facets of the game, offense, defense, special teams, dominated today. Blown away. I'm blown away. And I just want to tip my cap. I want to take this second to tip my cap to Todd Bowles, to Jeremy Bates, to Sam Darnold, this whole defensive staff. My goodness, what a game. Okay. And I feel so weird saying that because I always feel like whether we win or whether we lose, there's always some issue here. It's always like the offense played great, but the defense did not. The defense played great, but the offense couldn't get any points on the board. Both sides played well, but we just missed, a lot of field goals and we just had a lot of special teams blunders. But no, that wasn't the case tonight. All three facets dominated. Great job by the New York Jets. So let's talk about this and let's break it up. Let's talk about the defense first. The main unit that I believe won the New York Jets the game or gave the Jets an opportunity to win this game. The New York Jets defense tonight was absolutely brilliant, okay? You had guys stepping up. Shout out to Jamal Adams getting the first pick of his career. Incredible accomplishment. The Jets fans out there, we've all been waiting for it. He dropped a few last year. He was this close. In part, I remember specifically against Miami, he had one right in the breadbasket. He dropped it. But tonight, he actually called it too. Jamal Adams actually called it. He said, I'm going to pick off Matthew Stafford against the Detroit Lions Week 1. So shout out to him. Player of the game, Darren Lee, coming up, stopping tackles, making huge hits, on these screen passes, on these little underneath throws that Stafford was doing, especially in the second half. And then to top it off with 2 interceptions. I mean, Darren Lee, in my book, you're the player of the game right there. He was flying around the field, making plays, in coverage, up front. He was doing everything tonight. And I'm really impressed of this New York Jets linebacking core. A core that I've criticized before in the past, in previous videos. Talking about we don't have the star player, we don't have the consistent pass rush, we don't have the depth at the outside linebacker position. Excuse me. We just you've heard me talk about that before, and man, did they shut me up. You had guys out there like Frankie Louvu making plays, rushing the passer. I mean, this linebacking core did a phenomenal job, and I also want to touch on this. I want to bring up the point of this defensive line play because the defensive line play tonight, I thought was key in tonight's victory. Yes, we had the great turnovers, but I think it all stemmed from the defensive line, winning in the trenches. And that's really, can be said on offense too, but we'll get into that. But on defense, being able to pressure a very good quarterback and Matthew Stafford consistently throughout the game, hitting him, sacking him, making him feel uncomfortable, really just making him feel a little nervous, making him a little gun shy on the first, primetime game of Monday night game of the NFL season. I felt as though the New York Jets defensive line was key to everything because they were able to shut down the run game, and by the Lions not being able to run the ball, it makes them throw the ball. I felt like Matthew Stafford, I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but I felt like Matthew Stafford threw the ball way too much. And part of that was just time of possession. We talked about that actually in the preview video. The Jets needed to win time of possession. We needed to keep our defense on the sideline. We need to keep Matthew Stafford and that high-powered offense on the sidelines. Okay, it was just a must, and that happened tonight. The New York Jets went out and they executed that to the fullest extent. All right, so going back to this defensive line, completely oppressed. We had to pressure Stafford, and that was one of my concerns, question marks, red flags going into this game. It was, I feel as though we can't get the Lions off the field on third downs. Why? Because the Lions have a very underrated offensive line, and I felt as though the Jets were not going to be able to get after Stafford on third down. I thought he was going to sit back there all day and make throws, but that wasn't the case. The Jets' defensive line, the Jets' outside linebacking core were making plays. They were making plays when it counted. They were doing their thing. So shout out to the New York Jets defense. You are the reason why we won this game. Turning it, I mean, all those turnovers, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm super pumped up about that. So moving on to the offense. Actually, you know what? Before I move on to the offense, I need to say one thing, okay? I need to say one thing. Going on 6 minutes here. I want to bring this up. Perfect timing, too. Right in the middle of the video when I'm starting to get like pretty amped up here. But I need to say this. Great win by the Jets, yes. But people can't forget, we have a divisional rival next week, Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Miami Dolphins home opener at MetLife Stadium. I don't want the Jets partying for half a week, we're going to win the Super Bowl, we're going to win the East, this and that, this and that. Yes, it's a great win. Yes, we should celebrate tonight. But overall, we need to lock back in. As fans of the New York Jets, we have to understand that there are still great win. I'm not taking anything away from tonight's performance at all. Great win. I'm loving every second of it. But I just want us to remember, as fans, that we have a divisional rival next week, Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Miami Dolphins are coming off a great win against the Tennessee Titans. We cannot sleep on the Dolphins. That quite frankly, that's a bigger game than tonight's game. It just is. It just means more. It's an AFC East rival. It will pay dividends down the stretch. We have got to focus. We've got to lock back in, put this game behind us, close the book on Detroit. Great game. I love it. Put it up, put it in a frame, hang it on the wall, whatever you want to do. Remember it, understand it, know what you did right, know what you did wrong, move on to Miami. So I just wanted to say that. I don't want to get too caught up in the hype. Can't forget about Miami. We need to lock back in. But anyway, moving back onto this game. The New York Jets offense. I thought the New York Jets offensive play calls were brilliant. Jeremy Bates, I want to tip my cap to you. First year calling plays in a very, very, very long time. And he went out there and executed the game plan. His play calls were brilliant. Okay, I believe and I could be wrong on this, but from my personal memory, I only remember one bad call throughout the whole game, and it was the end around thing to Robbie Anderson where he just tried to get too cute on a 3rd and 1 midway through the field. I think it was on the 50-yard line or something. I did not like that call, but when you can only complain about one call, your offensive coordinator did a freaking great job. So shout out to Jeremy Bates, putting Sam Darnold in a position to succeed. This is what we talk about all the time in previous videos, right? Setting your young quarterbacks up, putting them in a position to have success, not giving Sam Darnold 3rd and 12s, not giving Sam Darnold 3rd and 15, not being down in the game by 24 points and making Sam Darnold having to force throws into double coverage downfield. 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4s. This is the area that Sam Darnold needs to be in, and quite frankly, every young quarterback needs to be in. Because when you can consistently be in the 3rd and short territory, right? When you can get a nice push up front by the offensive line, establish a run game, like I said, get a great push, have some protection, and get your quarterback, get your young offense in 3rd and shorts, you are living life. That is where you want to be as an offense, because if you're going 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, and you are just wasting time, you are using every second of the play clock, which they did tonight. It's an underrated thing that nobody was talking about. The New York Jets literally waited every second of their play clock on I felt like most of the plays in the first half. Did a great job. Play calling was great. A+. Sam Darnold went out and executed. From my memory again, and I don't have the exact stats with me, or I don't have the game, like the rerun of the game here. But from what I remember, there was 2 bad plays by Sam Darnold. That's it. All game. 2 bad plays. Number 1, the first interception across the field. Bad decision, but you know what? I'm okay with it. I wasn't that pissed when when the interception was thrown, I kind of looked at my brother like, okay, he'll be okay because he did this a lot at USC. He would just do boneheaded things, but he showed the ability to bounce back. At USC, he showed that ability tonight as well. That didn't bother me so much. Yes, it sucked watching it, but I think the bigger problem or the play that I kind of got pissed off at was when we weren't necessarily in the Lions red zone. We were at I think the Lions 25 or 26, and Sam Darnold got sacked for a loss of 10, or it was a loss of 11 or something like that. And it just made the situation for the field goal a lot harder. I mean, obviously it didn't really play out that way, but I don't like taking sacks that close to, when you're in, behind enemy lines, right? When you're that close to scoring that close to the end zone, I don't like going backwards at all. So that was really the only two complaints I had about Darnold all night. That's it. One turnover, that's perfectly fine. For the New York Jets to go out there and take care of the football, execute the calls that Jeremy Bates was, that he prepared for this offense, for them to go out there and execute it, for Sam Darnold to go out there, his footwork looked good, his mechanics overall looked good, nothing to complain about. Nothing at all. I mean, the picks are going to happen. And for him to throw one against a very, very talented defense, guys like Ziggy Ansah, guys like Darius Slay are out there. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, I liked him at Tennessee, out there making plays. They're a very talented bunch. And for Sam Darnold to only throw one interception and realistically go a whole game without throwing one turnover was pretty damn impressive. Considering that was just like the first play, it was like legit in the first 3 or 4 seconds of the game, he threw the pick. So, when you take a step back, he pretty much went 58, 59 minutes without a turnover against a really, really good Detroit Lion team. Detroit Lion defense, I should say. So very impressive stuff. And the last point I want to hit on is this. Special teams. Andre Roberts had a hell of a day. If it wasn't for Darren Lee getting 2 interceptions, Andre Roberts would have been the player of the game. His punt returns were magnificent. It was like looking at a Picasso painting out there. To see Andre Roberts, to see the special teams unit dominate the way we did, it was just pure ecstasy watching the special team for the New York Jets. I almost sliced my hand off jumping up because I almost put it in the fan accidentally. But the special teams was brilliant. To see Andre Roberts, a guy who's been around the league a little bit, he's been in the league for a few years now, and to go out and see him on the grandest stage of them all, Monday Night Football, to see him out there just having nice punt return after nice punt return after nice punt return, and hell, he got a touchdown on a punt return. Need I say more? Okay, I'm somewhat at a loss for words, and I'm going to stop it there. So, quick shout out to all the Lions fans that could be watching this video. I do still think that the Lions have a good team. I just felt as though Matt Patricia, they got caught a little bit off guard, almost like when, like in boxing or UFC or whatever, when you have a huge heavyweight fighter who's like a great fighter, he's all the tactics in the world, and the underdog kind of hits him or strikes him in the face quickly right from the jump, and it kind of rattles the champion, and all of a sudden you see the underdog, you see the momentum start to rise for the underdog and this and that. So that's what I kind of felt like happened in tonight's game, because I do feel still that the Lions are more talented than the New York Jets, personnel-wise. And I just felt as though the New York Jets came out and they established their game plan early. They took care of the football. They won the time possession battle. They won the turnover battle. And I'm not sure about the penalties. I'll have to check that out on the on the box score later. But overall, they did what we talked about in the preseason. They got Sam in a rhythm early, and like I said, they were able to establish a run game, which is a huge key to the victory. So that's it. The New York Jets come away victorious in a huge win against the Detroit Lions on Monday night. But like I said before, we have to calm down. Lock in. Miami's on Sunday. People are quick to forget that we have 3 games within the first 10 days of the season. Yes, we had a great win. Yes, now we only have 2 more games. But we can't sleep on Miami, and we damn sure cannot sleep on Cleveland. Because did you see Myles Garrett out there? I mean, this guy was wreaking havoc upon the playoff team known as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to leave it there. 14 minutes. New York Jets win the game. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.